Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. As we come onto our scene in the penumbral reflection of the Sept of the Green, thanks to a massive police presence in the Tellurian still, we find Olaf and Garrett, who left the meeting of the warder, the current warder, to go on patrol. Is it some time from when they're actually supposed to go on patrol? Yes. Yes, it is. However, these two Cleoth probably needed to blow off some steam, and even without any necessary worm threats rolling around, a stiff hike is good enough, or it's going to have to be. Now, they're on their point of the route that actually comes across the conservatory, running that outer patrol, and that's about where they come in.
Garrett is chain smoking up a storm. He hasn't been without a cigarette since the news first broke.
Olaf is not smoking, mostly because it's the Umbra. He's reticent about dedicating things that aren't either a set of clothing or combat items to himself.
OOC Will was told that it was small enough to where wasn't a problem.
I'm pretty sure if it fits in
Uh,
your pocket, it can be dedicated with your clothes or travel with your clothes.
okay. Either way, he's not smoking at the moment. Who knows why? I'm going to stick with it. I'm sticking with my guns.
International Man of Mystery.
Oh, yeah. Olaf kind of glances at Garrett. You going to be alright?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
God, making me peony things. Three successes.
Um, Garrett's always been a grim guy, always putting off this, somewhat menacing vibe, or at least trying to. This is the most like actually enraged you've ever seen him.
What's on your mind?
I just can't help but think that this could have been prevented.
I'm inclined to agree.
And I'm not so sure the warder didn't want to die.
And Olaf's head turns around. The warder died, taking a hit from me.
Very well. I'm sorry.
Olaf looks away. I just wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I'm not gonna lie. That's been going on in my head since this happened.
I, you know how pissed off I was when she made me a guardian, right?
Yeah, I do.
I've come to see the wisdom in that decision. I, I've gone my whole Garu life without having a set position. Hell, without being in a fucking pack.
That one sure surprises Olaf.
She put me in a guardian position the very first moment we met, and I thought it was the stupidest fucking thing ever. He's just kind of shaking his head. I I did my best to be worthy of this position. I knew people were gunning after her, and I was doing my damnedest to support her. I had even talked to Ren. Gave her the heads up, said, hey, I could see her going on a warpath. Do you think you could help out with this? And they never got the chance to talk, I don't think.
Gary, there's a lot of talks that some of us never get the chance to do. I've got a living will sitting in the bottom of a shoebox underneath God knows what in Liz's apartment right now. Now, I know you were doing everything you could. None of us saw this shit coming. I don't think anybody ever really does when it's finally their time. Not until it's right on top of them.
I couldn't be there. I tried. I wasn't going to make it. And you know what the funny thing is? If I was there, I'd have just died.
But by that logic, there were other Guardians who weren't there, who couldn't make it.
No, but if they were there, they could have made a difference. If I would have showed up, I just would have gotten in the way and gotten killed.
Garrett, we ain't all born with the same shit. You were doing your job, and you were doing a good job at it.
I thought I was too.
And you're going to keep doing that job for the next warder, and probably the warder after that.
Callie is the only warder I've ever seen not recruit from the likes of your stock. I was upfront with her about my lack of prowess in combat, and she didn't care. She's the only warder who's never cared about that shit. I'm out on the first ship as soon as the next warder finds out.
I kind of doubt that. Callie had a lot of wisdom. Saw things in people nobody else sees. Hell, she made Adrin in pretty much record time, and I'd like to think that was for a reason. Now you might not be the biggest or the fucking toughest. Fuck, I'm not the biggest or the toughest to tell you that shit right now. But you do your job. You obey orders and you support your warder.
He laughs when you say obey orders. It should have been me. Should have stalled it. Should have taken the hit like she took the hit for our tribe. You know she bore the mark of Grandfather Thunder. Showed it to me.
I've seen it.
Took it for chicken shit.
Yeah, she took it for chicken shit. She
And I
took
should
it
have
for
taken
another
it back.
Garou. Garrett, that ain't your call to make. How do you think I feel? I'm supposed to be some big fucking soldier of Gaia. I nearly got ripped apart in a second. If it weren't for her, we wouldn't be talking right now. But you can't take back the past, no matter how badly you might want to.
I really, really wish Travis had been here.
Don't we all?
You know, I hate being right sometimes, Olaf. I told Travis to his face I thought it was a mistake that he was going off the sept during wartime. And I would have words with the one who sent him on that challenge.
Well, there's only one Athro Arun that I remember rolling around here, though I might be wrong. And if it's who I think it is, that somebody ain't gonna listen.
And who is this poor listener?
If I'm right, and I wasn't there to see who he challenged, he could have gone to any number of people. Hell, there's nothing against going to another set or some shit, as far as I know about etiquette. But if I'm right, it's Teeth of Titanium. I only met him one time for about 5 seconds.
Thank you for telling me. I already knew the answer. I just wanted to see if you'd tell me.
Punctuate a point. Spirits of the Umbra, they're watching. They are your allies. They are not your servants, but they are definitely sometimes your friends and sometimes your comforters. It might be just the stirring rage or anger or passion that's currently building up in Garrett, or it could just be, well, kindly old Olaf over there who's becoming more and more serene as his heritage brings into full bear. But several of the dove spirits are going to start to flock around you and start to land on your shoulders.
Garrett's freaking out.
Get it? Come on.
I don't want them fucking touching me.
Look.
And they
Let him-
flitter around. They're like, okay, apparently he doesn't want us.
Garrett, to my knowledge, limited as it is, these are the kind of spirits that go into tailings like, Gaia's breasts, things that keep us from dying.
Any deal can fuck you over.
All right.
Spirits are going to go ahead and flock towards Olaf then.
The Olaf, who is like covered in dove spirits, I'm covered in doves. I'll just look at the spirits.
They sort of look at you, and a few of them sort of flutter. Some of them go ahead and poke at your the dedicated clothing, start to fly off towards the penumbral reflection of the conservatory, that wild place, this huge underbrush. It's as if they want you to follow them.
Yeah, if only Olaf had taken advantage of his spirit speech. Huh. Well, it looks like we're gonna take a look at something.
Fucking huzzah.
Fucking huzzah indeed. You and me. We're gonna talk about a few things later.
I'm all ears.
And that being said, later's later, so they head towards the conservatory.
Yay! You walk into the conservatory, just to fast track this just a tiny little bit. You hear the snake spirits slithering around, the little hissing there and here. This is definitely a wild place, and something of a dangerous place as well, at least to intruders, at least to those they don't want inside here, but they seem to pay you no mind. Eventually you'll come upon, well, two Garu that you've come to know. You've seen them at their youngest. In fact, these are brand spanking new. These are cubs. These are young ones. These seem to be like They seem to be sitting down on the ground, their backs to the altar. They seem to be consoling each other.
Hey,
Maeve is doing her Disney princess impression 2.0. She's probably covered in doves. And she'll glance up, and her face is just that. Like, this isn't pretty crying. Her face is red and blotched. Her eyes are a little swollen. She's obviously been very upset. It's any wonder that she's not still in the process of crying, but with that many doves around and the calm, soothing aura that they are pressing outward, she has managed to keep her shit under wraps for just a little bit.
Sup?
I take it you two heard.
We heard it on the wind. We heard the howl. It's not good news.
No, it's not. You know what? Roll me perception alertness.
Perception alert, nurse.
Why can't it be perception empathy, meanie?
I mean, if you want a perception empathy, go ahead. I'm just prompting you towards perception alertness.
Well, okay.
Me too.
Just the one success.
Yeah, if you really want to, man.
If my dice will stop being a douche nozzle. There we go.
Douche nozzle.
Alright, perception alertness. Not fucking bad, motherfucker.
Katie, I'll get to you in a minute. Which one was that for Garrett?
That's perception alertness.
Nice. Lucas, you notice something's kind of off because, I mean, Olaf doesn't always run around with the shirt under his coat fully buttoned up or anything.
Oh.
But there's something weird about the pattern. Like, you've seen hints of his tattoos. How can you not? But there's something weird about it. Like, some off. Maeve, that's clearly a scar. Garrett, that's clearly a scar, and given your level of experience compared to Lucas, you never heard about Olaf having to rage out of his own death during that mission, so that leaves about one option now, don't it?
Indeed.
Well, this is a welcome distraction. Maeve will kind of blink a few times and kind of focus on Olaf's chest for a second and then look up at him and be like, that wasn't there before.
Olaf looks down, like he looks a little surprised and kind of moves his shirt around a bit, and as he does, you can very clearly see at least 2 out of the 4 marks that run from his left chest down to his right side, but we're in the mid-chest portion. And yeah, it's true. There are 4 parallel scars that are interrupting his intricate weave of tattoos. Yeah. I got tagged.
You didn't just
Shit.
get tagged.
Maeve's actually going to, kind of stumble up to her feet and close whatever little distance is left and actually come over to get a proper look at it. And she's wearing a expression of concern.
Don't worry, I'm alright now. This just happens in our lives sometimes. I'm alive.
Olaf. That thing had silver.
Yeah, get it.
And not just a knife from the looks of it.
Oh, it's close. I couldn't really tell at first, but nothing quite feels like silver.
Jesus Christ.
She kind of glances between them and goes, this is what happens when you're hit by silver?
Pretty much every fucking time.
Do you know the story?
And Olaf looks at Lucas. What?
The story. Do you know it?
About why we're weak to silver. I'm assuming he means.
Everything.
Ah.
I heard
Yeah.
on the wire not to go.
Well, Lucas, you're a cub.
No, I understand that. I just want to know the story.
You are asking me to tell you what happened.
Please.
Now, Maeve still probably has a hand on Olaf's shirt, so she'll give it a light tug and very plaintively say, "Please, Olaf."
You two, this is a Galliard's job.
But I don't want to ask someone that I don't know. I want to ask you.
He just
Maybe
looks
he
at
needs some time.
She looks properly rebuked, and in fact, shoots a very apologetic glance up.
Yeah, pats Mabe on the head.
And she's somewhat watery-eyed, but she'll wander back over and slump back down next to Lucas.
What you two need to know is sometimes we come up against shit we never counted on. Things that just jump out. There's got to be a new something pretty much every day.
It's like I told you, Maeve. We fight monsters.
Look, I just want to know if it was worth it.
You're
Olaf.
goddamn right it was.
Good.
Olaf's standing there. You can answer your question yourself.
I'll take that.
Maeve looks vaguely confused by this assertion.
So, it was worth it. That's good. What would she want right now?
Right now? Yeah, I got a good sense of that. It's traditional to mourn the passing, and we will. But one thing that I don't want, and I know Callie wouldn't want, is for us to get drugged down by this. She led us to keep us raised up and ready to fight. She didn't die to see that dashed. We, the lot of us, are soldiers of Gaia. The only thing keeping the creatures in the night that would stop its heart at bay. We're the first and last line of defense. From the moment we're born, from the moment we're chosen, we are soldiers. And we fill different jobs. Him over there, he asks questions, and one day, Lucas, so will you. You, Mabe, you truck with spirits. Me, I'm apparently supposed to discern the law. But all of that aside, when it comes down to claws and fur, we're all soldiers. We live, we fight, we die, and we do it in the name of all creation.
What about living? I understand it. I understand good death. I understand a good death. I also understand a good death only comes from a full life worth the living.
We don't always get the choice.
I want a full life. If
So
it's
do
ended,
I. So does
if it's
Maeve.
in-
So does Olaf.
if it's ended as our dear warders was ended, that still counts as a full life.
Ah. Huh.
I want a full life. I want to remember her. And I want to do the things that she would have wanted us to do. So I gotta ask y'all, what do we remember of her? What do we want to keep with us now that she's not here?
Callie did a lot of things, but she always did her duty. I must stay on, keep doing my job. You two, I know for a fact, she would have been proud to be at your rites of accomplishment, even if they weren't for her tribe.
Maeve starts making like mild hiccuping noises.
I remember her. I remember that she trusted me when nobody else would. She respected me, my word. She didn't. She gave me a good turn when nobody else would. She believed me. She was different from everybody else. She welcomed me into her home. Nobody else would. I'll keep that.
All right.
As far as what she would want, I'm looking to the rest of you.
Like I said, she took her job seriously, and I'm taking this job real serious.
She took a chance on me. Knew nothing about me. Took a chance on me. A Shadow Lord nonetheless.
That's good. That's good. Anything else?
Well, Maeve is staying fairly quiet. It's pretty clear that she's doing so because she's on that edge of keeping herself under wraps. So like most teenage girls, she looks like she's on the verge of crying and is just expending every iota of her will to keep from doing so.
There's something she didn't give me, though.
Grief? Crap?
A kick to the dick.
Never got the chance.
Missed it
Startled the most
completely.
ridiculous sputter out of Maeve ever.
Missed it completely. I guess she mellowed out by the time I met her.
Yeah. We used to spar a lot. I don't remember her ever doing that.
I don't think there's a man in this room whose testicles were not banged up. I got spared just as much as the rest of you.
Yeah. Olaf walks over and sits on the nearest thing he can really sit on.
Which is the altar of the unicorn. Don't worry, there is actually no figurine and no statue of a unicorn there. It's just an altar.
Alright. Good to know.
When I was talking to Ren about her, I kept saying all the stupid shit I said to Callie, questioning her judgments and everything. And after every single time I questioned her, Ren asked me, "She didn't kick you in the dick?"
Ren knew Callie a lot longer than I did. Back in the days where she was just wild. You know, I rode alone for a long fucking time when I came here. Long fucking time. And I went on more than one mission with her. Hell, one time we went together towards, we didn't even know what. We heard a horn of distress. We got on my bike and we tore ass across New York City. She actually, I swear to Gaia to this day, took a selfie while we jumped the fucking Coney Island Bridge.
Obviously, that's one for the silver record.
Well, it's a framed. There's a framed picture on more than one person's wall. I'll tell you that shit right now. Point being, I wasn't in her pack. I was just some Cleath roaming around by himself. And there was never once where I rode with her, either as part of a bigger group or just with her, that I ever thought that she didn't trust me, or that I ever thought that I didn't trust her. And this is someone I stood together with, under Bear himself. That day she grabbed my hands and she called me brother. And she's been a sister to me. Had been a sister to me. Ever since.
Mm-hmm.
A fury calling a get brother.
Oh, isn't that just cosmic irony for you?
Indeed. And
Let me tell you this. Go ahead.
when I finally made my decision, took her hands in mine and said I was tired of riding alone. You know what she said to me?
Hmm?
Finally. She was my sister, she was my beta, and she was my warder. And I loved her dearly.
Maybe is scrubbing at her face a bit, and she'll look up and say, I think the first time I ever actually talked to Callie, I knocked her out.
Well, Mabe, you accomplished the one thing I never could. Because I'm pretty sure that about every time me and Callie ever crossed fists, I was the one getting a bottle of water dumped over his head.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Could never fucking hit me. Never. Absolutely not. Whiffed, 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 doge, until she went ahead and used the magnificent blessings of Gaia against me. But that was back when I had not had my first change. Ever since then, never a hit. I do not know if that is just stupid fucking luck or Gaia saying, hey, she's an Arun, but she'll never hurt you. And that's what I like about her. She could be mean, she'd be angry, but it was all play at the end of the day. Just all play. She's never really all that angry.
She was so goddamn young.
Yeah.
That she was.
She shoots him a glance. She was only a year older than me.
Fucking Adrian. 19-year-old Adrian.
I told you. Fastest rise I've ever seen.
Garrett, how old are you? Hamid.
26 fucking year old Cleath.
20-year-old Cleath.
21 Cup. Don't worry, I've known older Cleaths.
bet.
Still, I like to think that Kylie was an older sister. Even if I wasn't one of her blood, I like things that she was still a big sister to me. Still, what did you call it, Olaf? Picking somebody up when they were weak and she was strong?
Hmm. Indeed.
She called me sister all the time. And she'll actually kind of sputter a bit and be like, she bought us bunk beds.
You know, the other day when Ren returned to the set, she couldn't wait to introduce you to her. Made a point to get you there.
Looks sideways at Maeve, like nods. Mm-hmm. Told ya.
I thought I was in trouble or something.
No, I told you.
And
Told ya. Told ya.
everyone told me about Ren. I don't think she likes me very much.
Makes you say
Oh.
that.
She just shrugs.
Olaf shoots Mabe an incredulous look. Mabe,
That woman finds the best out of everybody and doesn't hold their faults against them.
Well, I mean,
I've pissed
she
her
doesn't
off
even
so
know
many
me.
times.
So, I mean, I don't blame her.
Nah. Trust me, Mabe. I've pissed her off so many times. She's always found a way to forgive me. I've known her a while. Hell, knew her before Lucas knew her.
Noddles.
She's a good woman and a good Philodox.
Let me tell you this, Maeve. And Olaf's going to have to back me up on this one. I met Maeve. Or not, I'm sorry. I met Ren because I saw how happy Callie was to see her. And I was hoping that Ren would talk to Callie in hopes of talking her down from going on a warpath whenever she heard about Wasp Stinger's fate. She readily agreed to help me, and then we got to talking about some other things, little chit chat. I told her something. Olaf's the only other person that knows.
She'll cast an inquiring glance Olaf's way. She doesn't. She obviously doesn't expect him to say anything, but it's just kind of a flicker of a glance.
Oh, Olaf knows. But you're right. He ain't saying shit.
Now, Olaf, what does that mean?
Same thing I already knew. Was waiting to see if you'd answer. Ren. She's honorable, trustworthy, head of level judgment. Anybody who meets her can tell that right away.
If you don't think she likes you, you just haven't talked to her enough.
Well, I mean, I haven't. So she shrugs.
It's worth your time.
Mm-hmm. Rin has a way of making everything just smooth. You could be teetering, you could have a number of crazy shit thrown at you, and she just sits there, tells you what's what, reminds you where you are, reminds you how things should be, and telling you that things will be that way so long as she is around.
She'll nod.
It's why we all missed her. She made things right. She made things smooth. Wherever she went. That's a talent that I don't know who gifted her that talent.
Well, me neither. I'll tell you one thing. Better fight the ducks than me any day of the fucking week.
That's actually true. I'll back him up on that.
That's something you want to go admitting to everybody, Olaf.
Well, I'm admitting it to a lot of you.
And as long as we shall solemnly keep this secret and this judgment to ourselves on pain of eternal damnation and death. He's actually holding a hand up.
You realize you're actually taking a no-shit oath right now.
And I retract my previous statements.
Oh, Lucas, we're here for another lesson. Don't talk serious shit like that unless you're gonna back it up.
At least in front of a Philodox.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you guys could see him doing the hand motions, even though his camera isn't on.
Oh, you want me to? Because I will do it readily.
I just get a little into character. Austin.
And once he said, your thing, he's like, I retract my previous statements.
Oh.
Continue, please.
Mm.
Oh.
We're gonna recover from this. And we're gonna do it together.
You're right. We're a fucking family. Sisters, brothers, all in the same banner. Well, under several different banners, but all under Gaia.
Yes.
And we'll get justice.
That we will.
Fair enough. If that is something that we need to do, then that is what we will do.
Look,
Oop.
you two, probably not going to involve you two as deeply, but we are at war. And yes, I know, we're technically always at war. But we're in no shit wartime right now.
Don't go doing anything stupid.
That is unfortunate. I wanted to pitch in beyond the messenger thing, but if that's not advisable, so be it.
Lucas, it's not advisable for me to pitch in beyond the messenger thing.
And, let's see, within 5 minutes of leaving the wire, I nearly got killed, so.
And Maeve, you have a whole other host of problems heading your way.
Blink?
Yep.
Oh.
Told her about it.
Does anyone know anything else about it?
No.
Nope. Just, bunker down. Go to Travis, he'll help you out.
I don't think I was going to be out much for a day or two at least.
I'm just saying, depending on what this is, and we don't know anything yet, you may become very popular very quickly.
She'll adopt a look of worry, which is strangely different than just the borderline depression she's been holding on to till now. But it's just a real and intelligent, worried expression, and she'll look up at both Olaf and Garrett, and she'll look at each of them in turn and say, "Do you think they're going to take me away?"
Don't know. Anything I would say at this point would just be pure speculation.
Olaf gets the look next.
I'm not very good at politics.
Just, Stick with Travis.
He's not here.
He'll come back.
Oh yeah.
I already told him he has to, so
And he may need you.
blink. Why?
He lost a friend tonight as well.
I know things were rough between them lately, but they've been fighting next to each other for a long fucking time. On this
Love,
post, under the same moon.
love and tolerate the shit out of him.
We're already on better terms. I
I'd hope.
talked to him a couple times, and I had been worried about how he'd feel about Lucas, but
He's not a bad guy, Maeve.
I know.
He just
I
handled
looked
it
at him.
really poorly.
I really looked at him, and I really listened, and he was happy. I mean, he was earnestly happy. So,
Bad turn.
yeah.
Very bad turn.
Uh,
I can't do it. Shakes his head. I remember everything. Good, bad, and ugly.
I know, Lucas.
It's her turn to put her arm up around his shoulders. I don't know.
What do I do with this? What do I do with this?
No,
Seriously, what do I do with this?
I don't know, except that sometimes he's stupid,
Very,
just like everyone else.
very stupid. You know, I helped Ren move those snake aquariums. Freaking huge.
I met two of her snakes. They live in Katori's den. They curl up with us when we're sleeping.
yeah, seriously, they're freaking huge.
And I had no idea, and here's little old me trying to carry these things. However, she called Travis. Travis rents a car to help. And I end up making him carry the damn thing upstairs. He rented this little sporty Audi, the worst car you could possibly rent. So yeah, he's stupid. But a kind heart. And I don't expect you to forgive him, Lucas. At least not yet.
At least it's out there.
Yeah. I've been trying. I mean, being able to see that he really does mean well, even if he's dumb and did hurtful things. He's trying. He just isn't good at it.
He also might be the most important Garu in this sept right now.
That might be just something that I have to deal with, then.
It really is.
Then judge him based on how well he handles things, at least when it comes to me, when all this
Another-
happens.
Another lesson for you, Lucas.
Mhm.
We're supposed to question things. That includes ourselves.
There it is.
It's really hard to. This isn't necessarily about understanding, it's winning back trust. I thought until a couple days ago that I was going to have to stand between Lucas and Travis even after his change. And I was ready to do it, and I was ready to be mad. But he's trying to do right by us. Trying. He's kind of goofy, so he doesn't do a very good job, but he's trying. It just takes time to earn back trust. Never mind if there wasn't trust in the first place and the only memory you have of a person is negative.
I keep a record. It's in my head. That's where it'll stay. That's
Good
where it's
job.
most proper.
And she nods.
That's what I do too. Well, shall we get back to it, Olaf?
Yeah, we should. Oh, before I go, Lucas,
Yes?
seriously, don't get fucking hit by silver. It hurts like a motherfucker.
Oh, thank fucking God, somebody told that lesson to me before it happened. Oh dear Lord, it's like I want to get hit, except by your fist over and over again.
Yeah, you're learning. Seriously though, silver, stay away from it.
Fucking hurts.
A
Fucking
lot.
hurts. A whole lot.
Getting shot sucks too.
Getting stabbed hurts more.
Agreed.
Maeve's just looking incredulous at this entire conversation.
And what hurts the most? A kick in the dick.
We may have a time of safe harbor for that one.
Yeah, we'll see. Alright, let's get on.
Garrett stops leaning on the thing he was leaning on and heads out the door.
And with Olaf right next to him, they cut a strange image together. Garrett being the size he is, at least moderately dressed, and Olaf being a borderline giant biker Viking. But they walk beside each other regardless.
He's a Viking.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
Well, very well. Play us out, Bob.
Watchers, thank you for watching. Players, thank you for playing. And we'll see you next time on another edition of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.